I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with author Julia Dane about her poignant narrative. It is called Crossroads and the Choices We Make. She takes a deep dive into the intricate journey of Rebekah, reflecting on her personal convictions about the inherent value of every individual and their capability to uplift humanity. Through Rebekah's life, she explores the profound influences of choices and their consequences, emphasizing the spiritual guidance and teachings of Jesus Christ as a beacon of hope and transformation. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her very powerful book. Julia, thanks so much for joining us here on Spotlight.
I am very happy to be here. Thank you very much, Logan.
Oh, it's great to have you. Let's start out with the big picture. Tell the folks at home what the book Crossroads is about.
It's about a journey of a woman through life, having to do with events that occurred prior to her birth, and including various people, relationships with family members, with friends, and her relationship, of course, most importantly, with God.
Yeah. And this book is very obviously intertwined with the Bible, right? Tell us about the connection there.
The connection with the Bible is I did refer to scriptures. I referred to the teachings of Jesus Christ, the how wisdom plays in our lives, and what happens when we choose to ignore wisdom. Exactly. And make choices separate from wisdom, and thinking that we know best sometimes, and learning the hard way that we don't. But I'm hoping I can make maybe a ministry out of the mess of the storyline.
Yeah. And that's an important part of your narrative. Rebekah's story highlights the importance of relying on godly wisdom rather than human merit, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me what role the influencers in our lives play in shaping our beliefs and our decisions as depicted in this book.
I think that individuals can be influenced by any of number of things, not only our home environment, the culture we're in, what people tell us about ourselves or the way we should be, and as well as our friends, our job that we're in. We can be influenced by just about everything, which concerns me, especially in today's day when it comes to children. Yeah. And some of the things going on. And one of the things I think about a lot is that in terms of kids, is a child's brain is not even fully developed until they're somewhere around 25 years old. So to let little children make decisions that could impact their whole entire lives is there are a lot of words I could think of.
Yeah.
Not a good choice.
Right,
not a really good choice.
It's crazy when you're letting life impacting decisions being made by a child when a child doesn't know what he or her wants at a young age. I wanted to be a fireman. If I had become a fireman, I would have fallen off that ladder long ago. I'm not built to be a fireman. You know what I mean? So we have parents for a reason, and we can't forget that. And we as parents have God as a reason to guide us as well. And we can't forget that connection either.
And sometimes our parents don't have the best wisdom, and we have to fend for ourselves and figure things out. And that's why it's super important, especially to have a godly father role in the home. I grew up without a father. Just to be clear, Rebekah's life is loosely based on mine. Mm-hmm. And there are some true events in there from my own life, and there are some things that aren't true necessarily about me, but might be true about someone I have met or I haven't met.
Yeah.
So I said in the beginning, things either are true or would be true if things were different.
Yeah.
But I think it's relatable to a lot of people because quote unquote dysfunctional homes seem to be kind of a norm.
Yeah.
And especially when there's not a godly leader in the home, somebody who's teaching has a high moral code, kids learn to fend for themselves and have more errors in their trials.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the metaphors you talk about in your book is the mustard seed of faith. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I know there were times in my life that I fear was more in control than faith. In fact, I remember when I was 16 years old, I didn't talk about this in the book, but when I was 16 years old, I remember throwing my Bible on the bed, and I read through every single scripture on fear because I think I had a very critical mother, and she was doing the best she could with what she had, yet kind of lived her life controlled by fear. And so in order to work through that and work towards faith, I had to work through all those scriptures. And now, I mean, I think the older I get, my hunger to know God and have godly wisdom increases continually because I know that fear is a lie. I mean, normal fear, there's a bear coming, of course,
right?
You know, you just have to be bigger than the bear, they say, right? But and that's kind of true in life too. We need to be bigger than the bear, and in order to do that, we need God.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs godly wisdom.
Tell me about your spiritual journey. Was it a gift given to you by your mother, your father, or was it something that you just developed on your own in absence of that?
I was raised in a Christian church. I went to church every Sunday. I feel like I connected with what Jesus was all about at a young age, yet didn't make a personal decision till I was in my teen years to follow the teachings of Christ. However, in my 20s and 30s and even beyond, there were times I thought I knew better than God.
Right.
And I chose to do things my way, or I was impatient. And I grew up without a father. And I think part of it had to do with, my mother divorced my father 4 months before I was born. And then I met him when I was 6 and did not really have a male role model in my life. So, but I did have my maternal grandparents were very influential. My grandmother was a very godly woman. And so I grew up in the traditions of being a Christ follower, but honestly, until I was middle-aged, I think I had my greatest aha moment when I was a lot older. And I'm hoping that through my book, people don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
Men and women, boys and girls, well, older, maybe teen and above, would be appropriate to read it. But I want to help other people not learn things the hard way.
Right. So that's the takeaway. You're hoping to guide others in their spiritual journey when they read this book?
That is huge, a huge part of why I believe I was led to write the book. Yes.
What was it like writing the book? Did it take you years, months, weeks, a day? What was it like? Inspiration? Was it hard work? Was it?
Well, writing has always been therapeutic for me. When I was a kid, it's like, do I want to sing, dance, act, or write? And which order? It was those things I wanted to do. And writing has always been cathartic for me. It's always been therapy. And so I had journals. I actually included some personal journaling in the book, and or somewhat modified journaling. And so I've been writing my whole life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're glad you wrote this book. It is called Crossroads and the Choices We Make. The author takes a deep dive into the intricate journey of her character, Rebekah, reflecting on her personal convictions about the inherent value of every individual and their capability to uplift humanity. This is a book that is meant to guide you on your own spiritual journey, and I definitely think Julia has achieved her goal in doing that. Julia, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the things I would like to leave people with, if I may,
Absolutely,
is to, and I included this in my book, paraphrase, but to love deeply, think globally, seek justice, hate violence, and all selfishness. And just do your part with your gifts and talents to make this world a better place.
absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
Very sound advice, and the world would be a better place if we all followed those thoughts that you put out there, and they're beautiful thoughts indeed. Julia, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.